Hello friends, my name is Matti McLean, and today I am going to be talking about the Ukrainian finals for Eurovision Song Contest. So Vidbir happened last week, so I'm a little bit behind on this, but I've been sitting with these songs for a little bit, and I want to see how they kind of rank. We know who the winner was, we know how it went down, we know what happened. Well, those who don't, the winner was Tvorchi. They won. There were three of them that were at the top, but how do I feel about them? After watching the performances, after sitting with the songs, who do I think should have gone? Who do I think was the best, and how do I think they did overall? Well, let's go to the beginning. Two Tone released their song. A lot of these songs I won't be able to say how they are pronounced, but this was like a hard rock, kind of a new wave, new metal band sound. It was pretty good overall. I have to say I enjoyed the song more as a track on the internet rather than the performance, but I will say that it was fairly solid. I would say that this was a solid it's all right. Do I think that they deserve to go? No. Do I think they would have got the 12 points? No. The one thing I will say is Vidbir is so long. It was so long. I actually, this is the first time I've seen one of the national finals and had to tap out before the end because I was just like, this has gone on for almost 4 hours. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I need to leave. There was only 10 songs and it lasted 4 hours. That's a lot. That's a lot. I know there was a 45-minute to an hour documentary in the middle about Kalush Orchestra. Did it need to be there? No. No, it did not. But overall, I have to say that I really enjoyed a lot of the songs that came out of it. And even though Two Tone isn't a band that I thought was great overall, they weren't something that I was really excited for. I will say that overall, it is a song I will continue to listen to. So, on between the two, do I feel like this is... I'm going to move it up. I'm going to say that's pretty good overall. Angelina ultimately came in last in the contest. I felt like her song is really good. It's playing right now. Her song is really good. She's a great performer. She's very young though, and you can tell that she just didn't have the pipes to be able to really carry this song. I do feel like this song could have been a contender if it had been sung by someone else with a bigger voice, a more supported voice, a more boisterous personality. We will take off points, of course, for her dress, as Jimmy would say, but overall, I thought it was really good. In terms of the song, I feel like the song is a winner. I feel like the song by itself, recorded and put out there, would be up the top for me. One of the best songs of the night. However, taking into account the performance, I have to say that it was definitely held back. I would put her at enjoyable overall as the full package. So, considering the song and everything else put together, I put her right in the middle. Dimchuk, Alive. Very Ed Sheeran. Overall, I feel like the song itself was less interesting than a lot of the other ones. It sounds like something that would be on the radio today, and I don't mean that in a great way. I mean that just in a factual way. This sounds like something that someone else could do. This sounds like something that anyone else could do. We were looking at him being like, you're tattooed Ed Sheeran. Tattooed Ukrainian Ed Sheeran. So... is it good? Yes, it is a good song. I will say that it's a solid, it's alright. I will keep this just fine, just because it's not quite as original as a lot of the other ones. But I will say that it was very good. It was very interesting. I like him as a performer, and I look forward to seeing what he does in the future. So, that being said, Finca. I did not like Finca. I feel like she's a very interesting performer. I feel like the song itself was very engaging. I feel like her performance was really, really good. But this is probably the one song that I skip. This is one of the songs that I'm just I don't feel this as much as I feel the other ones. So I think for me, she's at the bottom. She did very well in the voting. I really like that she represented this unique part of Ukraine that, is very strong. They were saying in the item itself, it's a very strong dialect, and she was kind of representing that part of Ukraine. I thought that was very interesting. But I have to say, overall, the song itself just doesn't quite hold up for me. So, overall, I would say she's not for me, but I do appreciate what she did. I think she's a very interesting performer. And I very much look forward to seeing what she does next. So, we'll see how that goes. Jerry Hall, When God Shut the Door. This was probably my favorite of the night. I felt like she was a very strong performer. I felt like she was interesting. I really liked her engagement. I liked her song. I like her singing. I would consider her near the top. So, where do I think this song went wrong? Well, I don't think it did, to be honest. I feel like the song itself is just very overly complex, and it's really hard to carry that. And I think just in terms of what maybe Ukraine was looking to send this year, this one just doesn't seem to fit that mold. She's very much like a future singer. I loved her operatic bits. I think that she did a very good job. I know they criticized her very harshly for the spoken rap portion of the song, which I can understand to an extent. Do I think it's entirely justified? Not entirely. But I do think that it was very good. She's very engaging as a performer, and I'm very interested to see what she does next. Now, Krooped, this was ultimately the song that us as a group decided to vote for because we had someone in our group who actually is Ukrainian. They had the access to the voting system, so we used that to our advantage. We got to put our one vote in. We voted for her. Why do we vote for her? I felt like she was very engaging, very strong, and as a group, we kind of came to the consensus that she was the one we could all agree on. So, do I think that she's very interesting and engaging? Yes. Was I expecting her to win? No. I liked the instrument work. I liked the song itself. Her voice is very beautiful, has that kind of delicate but boisterous sound, very strong-willed and very strong, but very gentle touch as well. So overall, I would say that she was very engaging, very interesting. I really enjoyed her. Do I think this is the best song of the night? I mean, as a group, we chose this one. Personally, I would have preferred to go with Jerry or Tvorchi, but I thought that she was very good. I have no complaints. The song itself is very melodic, very beautiful, very dreamlike, but I can also understand why Ukraine maybe didn't want to send something that might be, so evocative of the war. But, I think everyone's kind of expecting that, which might be why they pulled away from it a little bit. Mose, I'm Not Alone. I felt he was really good. I thought he was very sweet. His song is good. His voice is good. I love violin. For me, violin is just one of those instruments that I hear and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna like this. And I feel like Eurovision's catching on to that. They want me to like something, they just throw in a violin. So I would say this is worth looking at, very worth engaging with. The song itself is kind of okay. It felt a little disparate, and I feel like his voice isn't quite as strong as you want it to be for something that doesn't quite go in the direction that you want it to. But I will say it was very good. I did enjoy it. I think he was an excellent performer, and I look forward to seeing him again soon, maybe? We'll see. It's always hard to tell who's going to come back for different festivals, but I felt this was a very strong showing for him. I really liked his story. I thought he was very engaging, very cute as well. I'm not going to lie. That's very nice. But overall, very strong package, very strong performance, and a lot of fun. OI Sound System. I feel like this is a very interesting song. It's a very engaging song. It's memorable. I don't know if I love it. And the reason why is because I will say that there's a lot to this song. It really does feel like a wall of sound. It does feel like a very... it's a lot. And once you know that it's about grieving, and once you know it's about... Yeah, it's about, all that ugly stuff that you don't want to talk about or go over. I will say the song itself is very beautiful. They performed it excellently. I enjoyed it for what it was. Is this a song I will go back and listen to often? No. Because it is pretty much just a wall of sound. I wasn't expecting them to do as... I'm not going to say they did badly, because they presented themselves well. They'll probably get a lot of attention from it. I will say that I don't think that this was the most engaging song of the night. It is almost inaccessible in a lot of ways, where when you're listening to it, you're not quite sure what's happening, and it's a lot. It's boisterous. It's very, very powerful. It's very strong. So it's a mixed bag for this one. Timbre Blanche. I feel like this song is sweet. It's cute. For me, it wasn't as strong as a lot of the other ones. I thought they were very cute together. I think they did a really good job. I would kind of keep them, again, in the bottom half, but I don't think that's anything against them. I just think that it's not quite as strong as a lot of the other songs that were presented that night. So, keeping that in mind, still very good. Still had a lot of fun with it. Still very engaging. I would absolutely listen to the song regularly, as I would most of these songs. Except for Finca, and that's not Finca's fault. But I really enjoyed it. I thought that they did a very good job, and I look forward to seeing them again soon, maybe? We'll find out. They very much reminded me of Young Hearted from, I think, Denmark's final last year. There's always that couple song who just sing to each other and kind of moon over each other and have that nice, delicate, light touch. But, for what is. So what did I think of Tvorchi? Well, I thought Tvorchi was probably my second favorite of the night. I really liked what they did with the set. I liked what they did with the song. I think that they had a lot of fun with it. I think that they're very engaging. I also think it's very interesting that Ukraine, for the first time, I think, is sending a person of color. I think that's the first time. Feel free to correct me if that's not right. But they did a very good job. I'm really excited to see what this does in the contest. And overall, I would have to say that they did They have good chemistry. They clearly know how to write a good song. But just what they did with the presentation as well, I thought was very smart. Was it perfect? No. There was a lot of like hiccups, and I think that's just the fault of. I don't think it's the fault of the staging. I think it's just one of the dangers of having a stage that's not quite lined up for what you need. Because you can feel that the stage was very small. What they did with the space is very smart, and how they presented it was very good. But overall, I will say that there was something about them that was just ever so slightly weaker in terms of the presentation. And again, none of their, like, I don't think it's their fault at all. I think it's just the circumstantial problems that build up over time. But I really like to see what they do with this idea of the screens and having them interact with the screens in the future. So really looking forward to seeing them in Eurovision. I think they're an excellent choice. And overall, that was Vidbir. The only thing I would say about Vidbir is if you're doing it, maybe watch everything between the songs at half speed, or just skip to the songs and then skip to the end. Sure, we got like a lot of interval acts. We got the Junior Eurovision presenter. We got Jamala. We got Verka back, and it's always great to see Verka. But when I'm just like, oh my god, Verka, just move on. Like, that's a problem. We love Verka, and we want to see more of them. But you know, there's things that come up where you're just like, oh my god, I can only take so much of this, and it pushed it for me. I'm just like, you know what? Eurovision isn't even this long, and this is only 10 songs, so you know, they move at their own pace. Good for them. Is it a song? Is it a contest I'm gonna like eagerly watch every year? Yeah, because they present really good stuff and they make really good stuff, and hopefully they will always be in the finals from here until eternity. But we can't guarantee that anymore. It's very strange with this whole new voting system. But that's a talk for another day. But until then, I hope that you've enjoyed. And I would love to know what your thoughts are in Vidbir. If you can leave a comment, that helps me out greatly. And I would love to know what you're thinking. So, until next time,